Honorable Robert Gates, Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Honorable Christine Todd Whitman, Honorable Jim Harvey, distinguished members of the Board, President George Delama. Next spring, it will be 10 years since I joined the extraordinary global community that is Eisenhower Fellowships. For 7 weeks, I communicated with my children, Mariola, Gabriela, and Alfonso, who were then 1, 5, and 6 years old, through my computer screen. Andrea, my wife, used to tell me that for them it was not so strange because they were used to seeing me more on television than face to face. Today, I reconnect with my brothers and sisters at Eisenhower Fellowships through a screen to thank you all for what you have given me, much more than I will ever be able to give back, and to renew the commitment that unites us in the common purpose to create a better world. I wish I was with you in Philadelphia, with the Board of Trustees, with George, Erin, and all the wonderful Eisenhower Fellowships team, and to be able to welcome the new fellows of the Women's Leadership Program to our community. The screens could never replace the warmth of the past year's meetings, such as those in Cartagena de Indias, Málaga, London, Dublin, Bali, Kigali, San Francisco, Miami, New York, Philadelphia, and many others. Joining the Global Network Council gave me the chance of being part of the launching of new Eisenhower Fellowships ventures, such as the Youth Leaders Network. Thank you very much, Dima Bibi, for your inspiration and your energy, and the Global Scholars Program in partnership with the University of Oxford and University. I have had the immense fortune to travel the world and use the key given to me by General Powell 10 years ago to meet extraordinary leaders in every corner of the globe. I'm sure that we will meet again soon when we overcome the pandemic. In the meanwhile, I can only be so proud of Eisenhower Fellowships team for finding a way to continue to fulfill our mission by bringing together unique leaders from around the world. The Women's Leadership Program that is currently taking place is Eisenhower Fellowship's first digital program. I'm sure it is going to be just an amazing experience that will give us very valuable insights and lessons for the future. The award is now in my library, along with a collection of all editions of Don Quixote that I inherited from my grandfather, Don Alfonso Güemes. As many of you may know, Thomas Jefferson learned Spanish by reading Don Quixote during his trip to France to take up the post of US Ambassador in Paris. And his children also learned Spanish reading Miguel de Cervantes' masterpiece. Jefferson wrote that the ancient part of American history is writing chiefly in Spanish. He knew well that the destiny of the United States is somehow linked to Spain's legacy in America, the Hispanic America. On September 17, 1787, George Washington signed the Constitution of the United States. But that day, he also signed something else, shortly after leaving Independence Hall. President Washington put his name down for a payment of 22 shillings to a Philadelphia bookseller for a copy of Don Quixote in English. It seems that Don Quixote's fierce defense of human freedom captivated the founders. Don Quixote's defense of freedom was not a strange idea to the Spaniards of that time. In the 16th century, los escolásticos studied in deep and understood well the power of individual freedom, limited government, and the rule of law as the engine of welfare and justice. An idea that they made their own from John Locke to the founding fathers of the United States of America. These ideas of freedom are at the origin of the period of greatest economic and social progress in the history of humanity. The Declaration of Independence, its recognition of the right of all men created equal to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, is one of the greatest achievements of humankind. Despite the success of liberty as an engine of progress for the most, there has been no shortage of enemies of freedom over the past 2 centuries. Today, on October 15th, the day after his birthday, we remember President Eisenhower, who led the Allied troops in the battle against one of the cruelest enemies of liberty, and who is remembered as one of the most extraordinary leaders of our recent history and as a champion of freedom, peace, and justice. President Eisenhower reminded us that the history of free men is never really written by chance, but by choice, or choice freely taken as lifelong members of Eisenhower fellowships is to be like Don Quixote and to pursue the crazy idea of bettering the world around us. We're not alone. We are part of a global community with a wide and deep footprint. Yesterday, Ike's birthday was the Eisenhower Day of Fellowship at EF. Today, we are privileged to live his legacy. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much for this honor.